Kody Brown, Robyn Brown, and Janelle and Meri are all going to have the fight over Coyote Pass this week on Sister Wives. But a new clip that was shared onto Facebook about what they did to Meri is, wow, bananas. I guess I shouldn't be shocked, but I mean, anything is possible here, right? So, we're getting more information into what happened with the sale and why things were dragged on for such a long time. And as you know, we went through this earlier this week that Robyn Brown was the last one to sign off on the split of the property. Meri signed in January, Janelle signed in January, Kody signed in January, right? And then Robyn didn't sign until March. Somehow there's some sort of debate about how the sale is going to go through and what's going to happen. And Meri talks that in order for her to sell, Kody wanted her to sign some sort of ENDA. Which is weird, because I don't know how do you sign an ENDA for property that's sold? How do you sign an ENDA for a deed that's logged in the county that I can literally pull up right now if I want, which shows exactly how the proceeds of the sale are dispersed. But reportedly, this came with a stipulation that they sign an ENDA. Let's talk about it. He's putting the whole thing on me that I slowed it down, that I'm the problem. But it had to do with the fact that they were trying to get me to sign a confidentiality deal that I was not willing to agree to. Why do you want me to sign a secrecy agreement? Why are you trying to silence me? After we took the deal, Janelle was worried about losing the buyer. And so Janelle's like pushing me to either follow complete with what Meri's wishes were or force the sale. So in order for them to sell the land, somehow Kody's going to try to get her into an ENDA. For what? For what? I'm looking at the sales right now, right? The offer comes in April. April of 2025. The house sold in April of 2025. It's not like this was a deal that they had for, 3 months. It came in the same month that they closed on it. I'm not sure in what context an ENDA is needed for a public document. The public document says that the purchase price was $1.5 million. The warranty deeds show exactly how the money is split. At the point of the sale and the offer, there was literally no way for Kody to sell this out from under anyone, because by the time that the offer came in, Robyn had signed the deed finally to allow them onto the title, right? And so Robyn signs the title on the 26th. I think March 26th. They record it on March 27th. The offer on the house comes in April. They close on it on April 8th. Meri signs on April 11th. So in those 3 days, they're talking about what? They're going to lose the chance of what? He couldn't have sold it out from out under them if he would have wanted to. Meri was on every single one of the boxes at this point. But more importantly, what kind of ENDA is he looking for? An ENDA about the terms of the deal. It's all public. The only thing I can think of is like some sort of ENDA in regards to what? Not talking about him, not talking about the terms of the sale, not talking about what? Not talking critically about him, not saying that he ripped her off. What I got in this place where I was like secret deal almost with Janelle? Hey, we'll just sell it out from under these other two. Cause Robyn was like, we are not going to mess them over. Like, no, we should mess them over. And this is why I was a terrible polygamist, cause I can like just sit down and shut up. I couldn't ever do that. I couldn't ever just do that with these people and just manage it. He got to a point that he was going to just sell this out from underneath them. Which I'm still confused how. And he wanted to screw them over, but it was Kody that actually signed for the split of the property before Robyn did. Robyn was the last one. And he says Robyn's holding out because she doesn't want to screw everyone over on what they signed the titles. The buyer ended up dividing the parcels into 10. But it doesn't matter how the parcels were divided when they sold it, because they were on each one of the parcels evenly. The total of all of the sale, Janelle got 25%, Meri got 25%, Robyn and Kody got 50%. That's how the sale went. So, I'm kind of confused what they mean here. And he wouldn't have been able to actually sell them out or out from under them. The only thing he could have done was there was like one parcel that Kody and Robyn owned separately, but Robyn was on everything with Kody. So Kody couldn't have signed without his wife. And then my other question is this how Kody sees the good polygamist? Cause you ever notice that like he's always like, I wasn't a good polygamist. So in Kody's eyes, a good polygamist is a man that tells a wife to sit down and shut up. I mean, I've known that the whole time. I've known that's what these guys do. I mean, it's not against their faith. I mean, they say it isn't, But this is a culture that has domestic violence, and it's normal. So much so that in the spring of, or the fall of 24 or 23, there was a whole meeting with the OB leaders about the problems they were having with the men hitting their wives, right? Throwing them into walls, hurting them physically, and then pushing the women to stay in these marriages. So Kody says the only way that he can be a good polygamist is to tell a woman to sit down and shut up. And he could never do that. He should have just been able to do that. What does he even know how he sounds when he says that? And he could not have sold this out from under her if he would have tried. Kody said, well, I could sell it without Meri's consent. I'm like, well, you could. But he could sell it. He could have pushed the sale on everything. So yeah. And Robyn finally goes, she looks at me like, who are you? You're the man that I met and fell in love with that said if one of his wives left him, he'd buy her a house down the street, keep his kids close to him, and you'd be so giving with her. Where are again? I still don't understand this, but the only thing I can think of is that the negotiations prior to them getting the offer and prior to the property actually being divided, the lead up with the lawyers where they had to negotiate what was going to be a part of the terms of the division of the property. Could they have had an informal offer for 10 months before they had everything divided? Maybe. Seems like a very long time for someone to wait to buy property. But if that the people that bought the lots, this isn't going to be their first home. They're obviously going to do some sort of neighborhood here. They don't even live in Flagstaff. It looks like it's going to be like a vacation rental or a vacation house for them. So, is it that they had a verbal understanding for X amount of months and it's before everything gets divided and before everyone signs off on that division? And then for Janelle to say he could have sold it out from everyone? He could have. Yeah, he could have, but why wouldn't Janelle, and I don't know if they cut it out, but why wouldn't Janelle have been like, what are you doing, Kody? Right? What are you doing? Why would you do that? Kody admits he wanted to screw them, and then a couple weeks ago, he's like, I just want to get this done with so they can't say that I wanted to screw them, and then he admits he wanted to screw them, which the whole point of having the lawyers was for that reason. No wonder Meri wasn't speaking to Kody. She had to use a lawyer because he was being a jerk and Kody acting like Meri's the problem here. And where is Janelle sticking up for Meri? I have so many questions here. I was like, this is bull. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not selling this land until everything is perfectly fair and we do this the right way. Sorry. I'll be the big, fat rock in the way. Boy, nothing like the woman you love. Making you say to yourself, well, it's time for me to become a better man. Well, don't need to make it serious. You're worried. Oh, I wonder why. Shoot, what's wrong with me? There's parallel storylines here that I really don't know how they make sense. How is Robyn standing in the way of the sale other than she waited until March to sign off on the warranty deed? Because Meri signed in January. Meri had agreed to the terms of the split in January, and her signature was notarized in January. It was Robyn that waited until March 26th. So, she's the rock in the way of what? Within that time, sure they might have had an offer from the seller, but they didn't enter into an official contract until April. And so in the time from January to March, right? Theoretically, he could have sold out from under Meri several of these parcels, and Meri would have been totally screwed, but he never would have been able to sell out from under Robyn. He didn't have any sort of power that he could alone sell this property. And the land he owned with Robyn was all owned as joint community property, meaning both sellers have to sign. But I guess Robyn's the victim here. And then Kody's like nothing like a woman pushing you to be a better man. You mean it takes a woman, Kody, to make you understand that you shouldn't screw people over? You shouldn't try to quiet people. What are you talking about? In what part of this conversation is a non-disclosure deal a part of a sale on a house or a pro on land? You're talking about documents that are recorded officially in a county. All of you hearing can go into Eagle Web, which is the online portal for Cucamonga County. You can search Meri's name. You can search Kody's name. You can search Whitest Stone Trust, which is the house they live in. You can search Janelle's name or Robyn's name, and you'll see every record for every transaction. You will see the seller's deal. You will see the sales price. You will see the contract they sold about the information about the property, like the affidavit. Does it have a well? Does it have electricity? Are there agreements here? Right? You'll be able to see all of it. What are you trying to hide here? There would be nothing here that's enda for property. You even see what amount they get. It's not a secret. The only enda I can think of is an enda so that Meri can't talk about Kody and Robyn. And Meri doesn't seem just upset at Kody here. She seems upset at all of them. So Robyn acting like she's the martyr for Meri is ridiculous. If in the confidentiality agreement, if you had signed the earlier one and they had sold the property out from under you, would you be able to speak about it? No. It breaks my heart that it has come to this. I didn't think that these people would try to do this to me. Like, was there not any parts of us that were human? They absolutely 100% could have screwed Meri over. Right before Robyn signed over the deed and agreed to the terms of the split on March 26th, Meri was on a third of one lot that had 5 acres. A third of one box. That was it. Meaning she held about 1.66 of an acre out of over 14. Meaning she held like 1/14th of the entire pie here. She had nothing, no legal say on anything else. Janelle and Kody owned 2.42 together. Robyn and Kody were on 2 on their own, and then Meri, Janelle, and Kody were on another. So, was the 3-month leg here about Robyn wanting an enda and not signing because she wants an enda? Because Meri doesn't say Kody, she says these guys. I can't believe these guys would do this to me. I'm still confused. What's the enda for? Was the enda used as a bargaining tool so that Kody wouldn't screw her over? And so he would say, I will give you your 25%, Meri. But if I do give you your 25%, Meri, you can never speak badly about me. You can never talk poorly about Robyn. You can never talk poorly about my family, my kids. You can never talk poorly. You can never cast me in a bad light. I mean, could he have tried to use her silence as a bargaining chip in order to give her like 25%? I could see that he tried to place his kids in NDAs. And I tell you what, the NDAs had nothing to do with the land. The NDAs were because Kody didn't want his kids talking badly about him. He wanted the kids to stop insulting him. He got them into NDAs for a short, like Gwendolyn was made to sign one when she went to her engagement party. He got the others to join in filming, and then they were forced to sign some sort of like agreement with TLC. So my question here is like, was a bargaining tool to get Meri to agree to all of this, that I'll give you what's yours so long as you sign an enda. Because Meri had already signed on in January. She signs 3 days later in April. Robyn signed the same day as Kody on the sale of the house. So Robyn wasn't holding anything up. The only rock that Robyn put in the way was between January and March where she didn't sign. If Meri had already signed, it was like final, right? It was final. So, were they trying to pressure her like, well, we'll get Robyn to sign and agree to this, but you need to sign an enda. Like, what are they doing here? These people are evil. Where's Janelle in all of this? I hope there's like an answer from Janelle because this makes my blood boil. He is so afraid of what Meri knows about him because she was the formal wife. He will do anything to keep her quiet. And that is disgusting. And Robyn acting like the victim is even more disgusting. And I'm glad that Meri actually had an attorney here because no attorney would ever have agreed to those terms. And Kody would never have been able to do what he wanted to do because there were lawyers on his ass. And if he had done that, they probably would have been sued. So he can talk tough, but he knows at the end of the day, he couldn't have done, but what a monster. Alright, you all tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't signed, it's totally free. Make sure to hit the bell so you never miss a movie. And give this video a thumbs up and sound off below. Bye guys.